What's up guys, and welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. Changing the look of a popular character isn't a new idea. I mean, maybe they have to recast the actor, or maybe the character evolves in the universe. Whatever the case is, change usually causes fans to be upset, good or bad. So here to count down 5 of those changes, I'm Taylor McWatters, you're you. Let's get to it. Kicking off the list at number 5, Pennywise. It. So the reboot of the iconic Stephen King novel was received well by audiences. See, nobody can compare to Tim Curry's classic portrayal of the iconic clown. I mean, just rewatching that clip right there, I mean, he gave me some bad feelings growing up. I caught glimpses of this movie when I was like, I'd walk by the family room, I'd see my family watching it, and I would avoid it. Usually I'd kind of peek my head in and be like, oh, what are you guys watching? I would see him and I'm like, nope. Don't like that guy, not sticking around. Tim Curry is Pennywise, always. But Bill Skarsgård doesn't do a half bad job. He's pretty good. Now, of course, with a new director and a new vision comes a new version of our monster. And the actor playing Pennywise in the new reboot was Will Poulter?
You guys are getting paid?
Yeah, he was actually signed on to play Pennywise at one point, and after seeing The Revenant and like the Black Mirror interactive episode, he would have done really well. I mean, people gave him shit because he's just like the eyebrow kid. That's just like what he's known as. But being the eyebrow kid isn't a bad thing when you're supposed to be a terrifying clown. It kind of comes in handy. I mean, I don't think he deserved the hate that was thrown at him simply because he got a job, you know? Like, I've never replaced a busboy before at a bar and had the internet be like, wow, Tim Scurvy was the best busboy ever. You'll never polish glassware like him. Like, hey dude, can I just like sign in before you know, can I have a chance? Now, evidently he didn't end up being the big bad clown. See, Cary Fukunaga was originally attached to helm the new It franchise, but after dropping out, Andy Muschietti came in with his own casting choice for Pennywise.
Cheers, are we?
There was a strange balance that he brought. You know, a strange energy.
This guy's awesome. He did an amazing job. I think the only parts that fans hated about his version have to do with the use of CGI. Like at the end of It Chapter 2 with the giant spider monster demon thing. Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. See, fans have even said that the miniseries was better than the reboots. I mean, for multiple reasons. I mean, the miniseries told the complete story more accurately instead of making it 2 movies where part 1 did most of the heavy lifting. But because of Tim Curry, I mean, sometimes you can't replace certain actors portrayals of a character as well as Pennywise. That's like getting another funny guy to do a live action Grinch. It's just not gonna happen. And before we move on to number 4, guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up down below because it goes a long way for us here at our haunted funhouse. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Okay, back to some Tom Cruise running. Number 4, The Mummy. So in 1999, Stephen Sommers wrote and directed The Mummy, and this movie was a blast from start to finish. The first 2 are great. It's now a staple when it comes to 90s horror adventure. It even earned itself the ultimate 90s award, and it became a ride at Universal Studios. That's how you know. I've been on the ride. It's fine. It's alright. The film starring Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, and John Hannah. Of course, it tells the haunting tale of what happens when you mess with ancient mummy curses. I mean, who in their right mind would just open up a mummy's... Now, this movie was so good that it was sort of depicted as like an action comedy. I mean, Brendan Fraser was so good at it, he felt like Indiana Jones in a way. Just a funny dude in some messed up situations. It was a classic franchise, I mean, minus the 3rd one. We don't talk about that one. So when a new reboot of The Mummy was announced for 2017, we were pumped. I mean, especially hearing that this mummy will be part of this new shared horror universe that Universal was doing. I mean, we're currently getting that with the Conjuring universe, and it's actually working out really well. They're producing some great horror films, like Annabelle. That's good. For a spin-off, they're pretty good. Then the movie came out and it just did not hold up. The reboot changed a lot, maybe too much. See, the 2017 reboot stars Tom Cruise, Sofia Boutella, and Annabelle Wallis, and it was directed by Alex Kurtzman. Sofia Boutella played the monster, the main mummy, and she's a great actor. This movie being a flop was not on her at all. I mean, the whole movie tried desperately to create this large-scale monsterverse so much that it ignored its biggest player in the whole game, The Mummy. It went from a small group of explorers who got caught up in a curse and their son being taken to this Michael Bay budget film where people are just running and shit's blowing up. I mean, if you like running, sure, I guess you'll have interest in this movie, and it's loud, and you'll see it in theaters and be like, oh, it's loud, oh my gosh, Tom Cruise. And you'll walk out and be like, what? It's fine. How much dollars in the bag? Great. Number 3, Chucky. Child's Play 2019. Talking about 2019 here we go. So Child's Play, directed by Lars Klevberg, was a reboot of the classic Child's Play from the late 80s. And as far as the character goes, Chucky stayed the same, mostly. I mean, he's super into murder in the reboot. I gotta say, it wasn't too bad, to be honest. Aubrey Plaza is great as usual. Our man Chucky was voiced by Luke Skywalker, aka Mark Hamill. The biggest difference right off the bat with the old and new versions, the name. His name isn't Chucky in the new reboot, rather it's Buddy, with an I. Buddy. And he's also made out to be this new type of Alexa, like this new type of technology that's integrated with the house. So they mixed advances of tech in with Child's Play, so it feels fresh at least. I'd rather have a fresh concept and a new look rather than just changing the look to be cool and hip. So this new Buddy character was almost like an entirely new villain almost. He has more of a human look, which is both comforting and terrifying at the same time, especially when he really gets going. I mean, I like the reboot because, like I said, it's a new plot, it's a new killer, and he's got new motivations and new and improved ways of carrying out these killings. Now in this era, dolls aren't really a gift anymore. I'm sure if you gave an 8th grader a doll today, they'd be like, wow, that's so cute. I can't wait to pass this on to my children one day. So is there like an iPhone as well, or what's up? So now we have AI in our world, and it's the best, mostly. I can ask my phone directions on how to get home, and it'll sometimes work. Awesome. So this Black Mirror vibe we get adds a pleasant amount of anxiety to the movie. His actual look didn't change too much. I mean, he's got some gorgeous baby blues, and his wardrobe looks like it's had the Tide treatment, very fresh. Doesn't stay clean for long though. Kill him. These changes are fine, big changes, but they at least kept the same tone more or less. See, the OG Chucky, I mean, that guy was vile even before he became Chucky in the first place. Charles Lee Ray was a killer before. He just used the vessel of this doll to continue doing these horrible things. What did you guys think of the new reboot? Is it a bit too much change to enjoy, or are you out with the old and with the new kind of, you know? Let us know in the comments down below. I'm torn. Mark Hamill is just too good. Number 2, Freddy Krueger. This one is just, oh man, okay. So the reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street was released 10 years ago in 2010 and was directed by Samuel Bayer and written by Wesley Strick. It scored a nice 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I gotta admit, that's pretty generous. So Robert Englund isn't Freddy Krueger? Oh, then I guess we're just not gonna make a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Makes sense. Okay, meeting adjourned. Is it that hard? I mean, the Springwood slasher was replaced by Watchmen actor Jackie Earle Haley. He's an amazing actor, I'll start by saying that. If you haven't seen Watchmen, you owe it to Zack Snyder and yourself to watch it tonight. Yeah, he gives an amazing performance. So when it was announced that he would be putting on the Insomnia Gauntlet, I was very excited. I mean, we're basically gonna see that with a striped sweater, right? Right?
What do you want from me?
I don't know, Jesse. You think you could turn back time?
Answer me! No.
Hashtag not my Freddy Krueger. So one of the main reasons why I think this movie failed was because they tried to make it scarier. They tried to give this a darker, more serious tone. So when it came down to Freddy, the main person that should be delivering said thrills, he almost wasn't big enough? I don't know. Like, he went for this real human type monster, which is cool to see an actor like him do this, but not in this movie. It was far too close to the original, so fans were lost in the middle of Michael Bay madness, where it had the same old plot with the same types of scenes, but just prettier, I guess. And then we see Freddy and he looks like that. No, man, no, it didn't work. At least with Child's Play, the changes of the villain make sense because the overall tone of the movie shifts. When asked about his thoughts on the remake, Robert Englund himself couldn't have said it any better. When attending Comic-Con, he said in an interview that they reshot the opening and it threw the movie off kilter. You don't see any of the people happy-go-lucky. They're never untainted. They're practically zombies from the get-go because they're haunted by Freddy, and I think that was a miscalculation. You need to see before and after so you can invest emotionally with the children. Huh. It's almost like he's made so many movies. We should listen to him, always. I don't know. He's Freddy Krueger. Let's ask Freddy Krueger. And finally, number 1, Jason Voorhees, the Crystal Lake King himself. He's changed looks many, many times, and some are too stupid not to talk about. You already know which one I'm probably talking about. So back in the 80s, we were introduced to one of the biggest horror franchises ever. I mean, the classic sound, you know, the sound we've all been doing for 40 years now, comes from Friday the 13th, our boy Jason Voorhees. So we all know the story at this point. A young boy goes to Camp Crystal Lake, his mom works there, he's getting tossed in the water by teenagers who like playing spin the bottle in the middle of the woods. He doesn't have his water wings, so he drowns, and then he comes back as the evil hockey goalie, Jason. Okay, this is arguably the most classic Halloween character, like next to Ghostface. Iconic mask, iconic machete. Over the years, he's received new looks to serve, and one that's most notable from its 10th installment, Jason X. Oh my god, it's Space Jace. Yep. So yeah, that clip alone should help you understand why this installment was the lowest rated in the franchise. Like, this isn't Terminator, man. We don't need a cool space fight. This is not Avengers. Like, we actually don't need that. I don't think anybody wanted that. Freddy Krueger, I mean, sure, you could maybe make something work there. He's in your dreams. Astronauts probably have tons of nightmares when they're in space. Freddy comes along, pops a hole in literally anything, and then it could have been game over for them. Awesome. No, that sounds stupid. Reading this again out loud, that sounds really dumb, actually. He changed looks a few times in earlier movies, but those changes weren't too big. They were like superhero changes, a little cooler, a little bit more slick. Maybe the outfit evolved with the plot. Normal studio changes. Ones were meant to overlook in a way. But this, Robo Jason and then not Robo Jason, what the is going on? The Friday the 13th movies have a silly feel to them, but they're still scary at parts. Like, they're fun, and then Jason comes in, and then it's scary. Because camps are fun, and being a teenager is fun. And then Jason is not fun. That's how it works. You go, huh, oh. This movie went up and away, and it belongs out there. Just stay off this planet. Get this DVD. I just want to huck it right out of the world. Well guys, there you have it. Which other monster movie design changes were you not cool with? Were there some that you loved? Hit us up with your comments down below so we can read them and say, yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been your host, Taylor McWatters. You've been you, and we'll catch you next time. Stay safe. Bye. I think I went cross that there at the end. I was like, what's gonna happen? And before we move on to number 4, guys, if you haven't already, please just go ahead and give us a thumbs down below because it goes a long way for us.
Did you need to say thumbs down?
Did I say thumbs down?
I think you said thumbs down below.
Give us a thumbs down. Did I actually? Hey guys, this video is Give us a thumbs down.
Do that part.
I'll try to. That's so stupid. Taylor, you're fired. Why? Yeah, I don't know. You tell us. It was a classic. Fuck out of here. Is it too much change to enjoy, or out with the new, in with the old? I said that wrong. Number 2. Freddy Krueger's, I can't answer that. That they reshot the opening. Probably can't hear that, right? And then there's a link of something nice, I hope. There's a link, it's so stupid. At 2:10, I hate this movie so much. And there's a link for something, I don't know, I'm angry.